Welcome back to Saving the Republic with Joe State, presented by Grab Your Gear Network, where we speak to people who actually get up and work hard every single day. So if you're a hard worker, make sure you subscribe to the network. Check out all of our content. We have many different types of content. We have a weekly long-form podcast with Joe Weasel. We have this show, Saving the Republic, a current events show with yours truly. And we have several other types of content being uploaded very soon in the near future on the channels at Grab Your Gear on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So make sure you check us out. Now, today's news, we have a couple big stories today, okay? And if you guys have been following politics, like I do every single day, you'd see that today was the first day of the Democratic National Convention. Now, the DNC is an event hosted every 4 years in the election cycle to formally nominate the Democrat candidate for president of the United States. And so, as we all know and love, Kamala Harris is the Democrat nominee by choice of the oligarchs running the Democrat Party, not the voters. And so she's going to accept her nomination on Thursday. But in that scenario, there was some news regarding the current president, quote unquote, Joe Biden and his wife, Jill. And that news is that President Joe Biden and Jill Biden, as I'm reading here from @RawsAlerts on Twitter, or X, will not be attending Kamala's nomination speech and plan to leave the DNC after his farewell address today. So Joe Biden is not even planning on attending Kamala Harris's nomination speech. Now, if that doesn't tell you something a little bit strange is going on, I don't know what will. And this was further corroborated, this line of thinking, by Nancy Pelosi saying she, quote, had to do what she had to do today at the DNC with Joe Biden. And so I want to ask you guys this question, okay? For the party who's saying democracy is at stake, we must save our democracy, which, funny enough, that tagline that they've used to brand Trump has seemingly vanished in the recent weeks. You know, it was a line they used for years, literally, on Trump, saving democracy. But it's the same party who unseats, removes Joe Biden as the nominee by forcing him out behind the scenes, threatening him with the 25th Amendment, apparently, saying that he's mentally unfit to serve as president, after years and years of them denying this fact. And they remove him from the ballot, and they put, they anoint Kamala as their nominee. The question for you, the viewer, is this the party that's going to save democracy? Is this the party? Now, again, I think it's kind of cringe to just attack a singular political party and be so loyal to another one, right? But I will tell you, I'm openly conservative. But I think the two-party system has its issues. But the bottom line is that the Democrats are simply not living up to what they are preaching. It seems like these days they are projecting everything that they bring up. They talk about saving democracy. They're the one trying to put their political opponent in prison. They talk about secure elections. They're the one pushing against voter ID laws. Right? They talk about a secure border, but they support policies that welcome in 15 million illegal aliens. And so it seems like they're just the party of projection. They say exactly what they're doing to their opponent. They say that their opponent's doing it. It's projection. So it'll be interesting to see how the DNC goes, right? Let me know what you guys think down below. Is Joe Biden against Kamala Harris? Is he still bitter about how things went behind the scenes? Let me know your thoughts down below. The next story of today, I saw this immediately when I got on Twitter looking at the DNC, and that was this guy, right, confronts Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk from Turning Point USA is at the DNC. He walks in, and he's confronted by this guy. Check this out.
Because we have a Republican governor and a Republican Secretary of State in the state of Georgia.
What's your name? You said Parker?
My name's Parker. We have a Republican governor and a Republican Secretary of State in Georgia that approved our elections, and Donald Trump said that wasn't constitutional.
Relax.
Donald Trump tried to undermine our Constitution.
You're at 10. I just walked in. I'm here to just learn.
Hey, you're an anti-patriotic, anti-constitutional person crashing our party because you tried to stop our democracy.
I got one question.
Donald Trump called the Secretary of State of Georgia and told him to find him some votes.
What is a woman?
Oh my God. That is so fucking weird, y'all. Maybe you should meet one.
I'm married to one.
Same.
Isn't it amazing to you that these people that think they're riding high on their intellectual high horse, they don't understand the optics of walking away. You're scared. You're literally so scared, right? And I saw people tweeting this video saying that Charlie Kirk got owned or something. It's like, dude, you walked up to Charlie Kirk, spewed out some talking points, and the second he asked you a question, you literally run away like a little baby. You're scared to have a conversation. You're scared to answer any questions that are opposing your viewpoint. And this is the fact, right? The left, and it's just what it is, it's true. The left is brought up in a world in the 21st century where their views are protected, they're coddled, they're bubble wrapped. I like to call it the bubble wrap, right? They live in a world where their views are bubble wrapped from any sort of criticism. They're insulated. And they're validated their entire growing up. They go to school and they learn about the left-wing principles. They go to college. It's even worse in college. As we know, 90+% of professors are left-leaning. And so they grow up in a world where their views are consistently validated. They are constantly being pushed and supported, right? They are never asked any hard questions. They are never confronted with opposing viewpoints. And so this guy walks up to Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk, of course, there's some humor. Of course, he's not going to be serious. When you confront somebody for 30 seconds being ignorant, they're not going to be like, oh, how are you, and have a great conversation. So Charlie Kirk, being a little bit of the showman that he is, says, what's a woman? Because he knows the guy can't answer the question. And he's, oh my gosh, you're so weird. Like, dude, you can't answer a simple question. You can't walk up to Charlie Kirk. And look, everybody knows this, okay? Everybody knows this guy could not hold his own in a debate against Charlie Kirk, period. I mean, I myself get a little bit intimidated about Charlie Kirk when I look at his knowledge of history and politics and everything. I'm still trying to catch up to him myself, but clearly this guy could not hold his own in any sort of debate. And it's kind of funny, too, because I saw this later today on Twitter that they have gender-neutral restrooms at the DNC, okay? So they don't want to define what a woman is. They want Tim Walz, the guy who puts tampons in boys' bathrooms, as the vice president. Then they have gender-neutral bathrooms at the DNC, okay? This is what the Democrat Party is for, okay? And this is what I talk about all the time. And again, let me know if you guys disagree. I would love to respond. I'd love to have a conversation with you. But the Democrat Party has become the party of resistance. That's their objective foundation. I say objective because I'm talking about objective morality. That's their stop, right? When you ask somebody, like, what are your fundamental beliefs? What are your principles? Mostly on the right, most of the conservatives would answer, I believe in God. I believe that all human beings are valuable because they're made in the image of God, right? The left will tell you that human beings are valuable. They will tell you that human rights are important. The problem is that they don't understand why they're important. They don't have the why. And so when you don't have the why, when you don't have the principle backing your view, anything will become acceptable at some point, including the mutilation of children, including the affirmation of a mental health disorder, which is what it was deemed by the American Psychiatric Association. Okay? These are the policies that end up coming out of a worldview that has no backstop. There's no foundation behind the left's views. It's just what it is. They are living in a materialist worldview. I love reading about worldview and morality. Would encourage you guys to check out Apologia Studios. Pastor Jeff Durbin talks about it quite a bit. But they have no worldview that has any consistency. And so when that's the case, you're going to have things like gender-neutral bathrooms, okay? The last story of today that I want to touch on is just this video that's been going around of President Trump where he's talking about the Medal of Honor. And I've seen so many people, like they always do, they run with this video, they run with this clip, and they say, oh my gosh, President Trump hates veterans. And they are misinterpreting. They are taking out of context this little tiny clip of a video they saw him speaking. And so it's just amazing to me this always happens. Clearly, President Trump is a man who loves veterans. He flew over to Afghanistan or Iraq. I forget which country it was, so don't quote me on that. But I know he went overseas into a dangerous zone at Christmas time to surprise the troops. Okay? This is not a man who does not appreciate veterans. This is a man who very highly respects veterans. And it's really cringe to me. I saw MSNBC run with this story Sunday about, the opening show. I forget the name of the host, but the 2 p.m. Sunday show, she opens up with, Donald Trump has called veterans suckers and losers because John Kelly said so. Like, we've had 30 people say that were at that place. He did not say that. Okay. It's already been denied. But now we have this Medal of Honor hoax coming out and saying, oh, he thinks the Medal of Honor is stupid. Of course not. Of course. Do you really think Trump would go into a podium and speak and say the Medal of Honor is dumb? It's not as good as the Presidential Medal of Freedom? Of course not. Of course. He knows he was on camera. And again, it's not even a matter of whether he's on camera or not because he doesn't believe it. I'll explain it really simply for you. President Trump is saying it's a better circumstance to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom because usually you don't have to lose your life to receive that medal. He's not denigrating the worth and the honor of the Medal of Honor. He's saying, I would prefer to give this medal because it doesn't require somebody losing their life. But of course, the Medal of Honor is valuable. Of course, it's sacred, right? Of course. But we can live in a world where we can make statements that are not immediately, interpretable in a certain direction without flipping out and saying, oh my gosh, he hates veterans. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay? So next time you see somebody talking about that clip, inform them. Look, he was making a statement about, I would rather give the Presidential Medal of Freedom because it does not require one of our precious veterans losing their life. Not to say the Medal of Honor is not valuable. Of course it's valuable, of course. So we're living in a world full of propaganda. Kamala Harris's presidential campaign is relying solely on the fluff of propaganda to keep it afloat. We're already seeing today polls showing her losing some ground that she gained so quickly, as they said, because Americans are starting to see her for who she is. But we're living in this world of propaganda, right? We have to sift through it. And that's why I bring you guys this content. So if you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Grab Your Gear, and give me a follow over on Twitter at RealJoeStaten if you want to have a live view at my takes. If you want to interact with me, have any questions, I will respond to you on Twitter again at RealJoeStaten. But for now, that's all on this episode of Saving the Republic. As I said, subscribe to Grab Your Gear on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Give us a follow on the YouTube page, leave a like down below, and a comment. And with that being said, we'll see you next time. Peace.